Hilda has at last told Edwin that she was never married to Cannon, and Edwin has asked her to marry him.
That's it then, Megs. I'll be setting off.
Yes.
There's no need for you to move down to Auntie's tonight, you know.
I think I shall. I told her as I'd be settling in today, and it's best to keep to arrangements.
Well...
Anyway, you've got the painters and paper hangers here tomorrow. I don't want to get in their way.
As you please, of course. Luke, I'd best not keep that cab waiting.
No.
Goodbye then, Megs.
Goodbye then, Eddie. And I'm sure I hope that...
Thank you.
Mama! He's here! He's here! The cab's here!
Thank you, George. Now, you be a good boy while I'm gone. You do just as your Auntie Janet says.
What time do you want me to change my name?
I don't want you to change your name. I just think it's best, that's all.
Oh, I don't mind being called Clayhanger. I just want to know what time, that's all.
After 3:30 tomorrow afternoon.
All right, I'll change it then. I'll go and tell Uncle Edwin you're coming.
Yes. George? Thank you.
Goodbye, dear.
Bye, Janet.
I know you'll be happy.
I know I shall. My darling, my dearest, my boy, my love, we're away from them.
From who?
From the towns, from the people, from everyone. They would have stopped you marrying me if they could.
Nobody could have ever stopped me marrying you.
I want to be with you and safe and happy for always.
My darling girl.
Kiss me.
Will you read from the card, please?
I do solemnly declare that I know not of any lawful impediment why
Your own full name.
I, Hilda Caroline Lessways, may not be joined in matrimony to Edwin Clayhanger.
Thank you. Now you, sir, please.
I do solemnly declare that I know not of any lawful impediment why I, Edwin Clayhanger, may not be joined in matrimony to Hilda Caroline Lessways.
Thank you. Now, Miss Lessways, will you repeat after me? I call upon these persons present to witness...
I call upon these persons present to witness
that I, Hilda Caroline Lessways...
that I, Hilda Caroline Lessways,
do take thee, Edwin Clayhanger...
do take thee, Edwin Clayhanger,
to be my lawful wedded husband.
to be my lawful wedded husband.
Now, will you repeat after me? I call upon these persons present to witness...
I call upon these persons present to witness
that I, Edwin Clayhanger...
that I, Edwin Clayhanger,
do take thee, Hilda Caroline Lessways...
do take thee, Hilda Caroline Lessways,
to be my lawful wedded wife.
to be my lawful wedded wife.
How's old Bursley?
Oh, what a question.
Why?
Well, it tottered, but it never actually crashed.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, you know what I mean.
Well, I suppose...
Still, I'm not only an outsider. In their eyes, I am a fallen woman. What right have I to carry off Edwin Clayhanger?
I thought I was the one who did the carrying off.
There are very few people in the Five Towns who will ever believe that I did not use some awful wickedness to mesmerize you into marrying me.
Quite right, too.
Jolly.
Still, I put on a sizable bet that you two won't allow yourselves to be swept under by provinciality.
Well, I should hope not.
So you've already shown them how you mean to go on.
Have we?
Of course you have. There was never any need to tell the Towns everything. Hilda was a widow. You could have left it at that.
Oh, no, we could not.
You dashed well couldn't. We're not living a lie to pacify Bursley.
There you are, then. You've not only fought them, you've made your own terms for the peace. Accept us as we are, or not at all. That's what you said, and they've done it. You'll have no more trouble from Bursley. They'll have to follow you now.
They will, won't they? We shall make them.
Now I must leave you.
Oh, must you?
I must. Even now, there may be somebody knocking on my door demanding my medical services. Are you in London for the week?
Yes, we shall see something of you.
Oh, no. In the first place, I'm far too busy for getting about. And in the second place, I refuse to come between a man and a woman in their first week of marriage. No politeness now. Tell you what, I shall leave you to pay the bill for this dinner.
Oh, I should hope so, too.
Goodbye, Hilda.
Thank you, Charlie.
What for?
Witnessing for us, of course.
Well, if you will decide to get married in London, you've got to have someone. And anyway, don't I do anything when I'm bidden by you? Goodbye, old man.
Goodbye, Charlie.
And congratulations.
Thank you.
Did you ever think? You know, when we first met at the Orgreave house? Did you ever think that one day I should be your wife?
I don't know.
But I know. You didn't like me then.
Oh, that's not true.
It is.
But afterwards, when you came across the garden, when you came into the porch of our new house...
Yes.
It seems to me that since then, I've never thought of anything else.
Seems to me that I haven't either. And when we go back,
Yes?
we shan't be like the others. We shall just be like ourselves.
Of course we shall.
We shan't live like them. We shan't think like them. We shan't clean like them. We shan't have their sort of house or their sort of clothes or their sort of servants or their... We shall just be ourselves.
Yes.
And we shan't have an at-home for them to gawp at us. Whatever happens, we shan't do that.
No!
Let's forgot the blasted beetroot cup.
You're ready.
Yes? I thought I may as well leave the field to you.
Who do you think will be first?
Oh, Albert and Clara. They always are. We're early birds on account of the children.
Is that what they say?
Usually, yes. And Auntie and Maggie will probably come with them. But the others shouldn't be far behind. The Swetmans, the Ferns, the Cheswoodins. Oh! And Tertius Ingpen. I don't believe I told you I'd invited him.
Tertius Ingpen. What an odd name.
Yes, it is, isn't it? I believe he's rather proud of it, though. He's the new government factory inspector. It seems he knew Charlie Orgreave when he worked in London. And Charlie dropped a line to Johnny, and Johnny suggested I might care to ask him round. He's quite a cultured chap, I should say, which makes a change in this part of the world.
Yes.
I wonder if we shouldn't move into the other bedroom. Don't you find it cramped for you in here?
No, I do not find it cramped. I like this room.
But you must remember, my father's old bedroom is 2 foot 6 inches broader than this.
I know it is.
Isn't that that puts you off moving, is it? The fact that my father died in there? It really isn't worthy of you to be morbidly sentimental, you know.
What a nasty, accusing thing you are. What a dreadfully bullying, suspicious man. So, I am morbidly sentimental, am I? Don't you see, you great stupid? It's not that I'm against your father's room. It's just that I am in favor of yours. I want us to be in your room. I want to go to sleep in it. I want to wake up in it. I want to be part of your whole past life. Now you go off downstairs while I get ready.
Very well.
I love him. That look in his eyes when he looks just like a little boy.
Why should I be nervous?
Well, if I am, I can afford to be, can't I? I'm proud of it all. Why shouldn't I be? The Agony in the Garden by Bellini. Perhaps the greatest picture in the world. And how many houses in this town have got a copy of it, eh? How staggering that I went to the National Gallery and didn't even notice it. Victorian art? Pooh. Wouldn't give twopence for the lot. And how many houses have got one of these? Must let the warm air circulate. It's an island, this house. An island in a sea of barbarity. Huh. This is my island. No. Now it's hers. They're here. The first ones are here and she's not even down. I knew this would happen. Did you hear the front door?
That was Mrs. bell, sir.
Oh. Well, there's not even a parlour maid just when she's needed. I knew she'd be late, I knew. Where are you going? Come here. It's not your place to open the door. Come into the drawing room. Isn't she magnificent?
Who is it, Ada?
Mrs. Armstrong.
Good evening, Auntie. How nice to see you, dear.
Good evening, Hilda.
Maggie.
Albert.
Hello there.
Edwin.
Auntie.
Hello, Mr. Clayhanger. Well, I expect we're the first.
Well.
Hello,
What do you know, us early birds?
On account of the children.
First to come, first to go.
Well, we've done it now. We've let the town in.
Good, suit you so well. Thank you.
Thank you, Ada. Well, she's a pretty thing anyway.
Oh, she's pretty, all right. So's the new coop, too. Well, I must confess what I didn't see was what was wrong with Betty and Mrs. Stiles. Well, Hilda said she thought she should have a plain sweep. Well, I agree with that, as a principle.
Oh, so do I. So do I, as a principal. But when a servant's tested and tried...
That's just what I say, Auntie. She wanted to have young servants, she said. I will not have a lot of middle-aged women scouring about my house, she said.
Well, I'd be the first to say she must have her choice. Not that I myself have found much to complain about. The servants have got the experience of years. Young and comely good servants are all very well if you happen to drop on them. I'm sure I pray as elder as.
Weren't you surprised when they decided to sleep in this room, Maggie?
Well, that's not the principal bedroom. Your father's bedroom was the principal one.
And the principal bedroom's left empty, is it? Yes. George is sleeping in my old room. You'd have thought they'd have wanted the principal bedroom. As Auntie says, it is where Father slept.
All folks have different ideas, of course.
Jerry building, that's all it is. To drive your father to his grave, Miss Orgreave. Oh, hello, Edwin.
Got everything you need, all of you.
I should say, jolly good spread you got in there. Quite a housekeeper you seem to have married.
Well, we were just having a natter about those houses near the Catholic chapel.
They're putting them up in a hurry, Edwin. Can't tell one street from another nowadays.
Often can't tell one inhabitant from another.
Well, I suppose they've got to have somewhere to live.
Well, no denying that. But I can't believe you don't feel resentful when you see your property being hemmed in by those sort of houses.
Well, that's true enough. Luke, excuse me, will you? I must see how things are in
no,
other
of
rooms.
course, yeah. You know, the builder couldn't be bothered to use a measure.
Hello there, Edwin. Oh, very pleasant, I must say. Very pleasant indeed.
Glad you're enjoying it.
Oh, yes, we are.
And here's the famous radiator installed, I see.
A radiator? Well, my word.
Oh, you got it on then?
Yes.
Well, it's a bit extravagant during August, isn't it?
We see no point in anybody being cold, just because it's August.
Oh, no. Mustn't stop the march of progress. Well, it heats the hot water too, does it?
Yes.
Well, I don't know.
If we all wanted hot baths in the middle of the night, we could have them without any problem at all.
That's so, wow.
We were just on our way to the breakfast room. Auntie's in there with Mr. Peartree.
Oh.
If you'll excuse us, then.
I just wanted to kiss you while it's all going on.
They know it's my own personal room now, it is, isn't it? You said it could be.
Breakfast room is your own personal room to do just what you want with.
Thank you. I've already put your photograph in there. Who is this Mr. Peartree?
Oh, he's gone back to Bursley to give his lecture, The Mantle and Mission of Elijah.
What?
The Mantle and Mission of Elijah. It's the only lecture he ever gives. I hated him when I was a boy because he started the Saturday Bible class. My only free afternoon had to go there. The world's greatest monster, I thought Peartree was. I must say, he seems pretty harmless now.
They'll be wondering where we are. We'll circulate.
Peartree.
Of course, they needn't have said a word about the bigamy at all. But we all thought it best not to conceal anything.
That's right, we did.
In fact, Albert strongly advised Edwin not to attempt any such thing. So, we just mentioned it quietly like to a few friends. After all, poor Hilda was perfectly innocent. It was Edwin would have the wedding in London. We did so feel for her. And then, of course, she wouldn't have an at home. I knew it was a mistake not to. We all knew. Folk began to talk. Anyway, in the end, she was persuaded. She fixed it for August, you see, because she thought so many people would be away at the seaside. But they aren't. At least not as many as you'd think. And then she wouldn't have it in the afternoon like other folks.
But,
Mrs. Edwin isn't like other folks, and you can't alter her.
Well, what's wrong with the evening for an at-home, anyhow?
Oh, of course. I quite agree. I like it, but folks are funny.
And then there's the little boy.
Yes.
Oh, poor little thing. I do feel so sorry for him. I mean, when he grows up.
You needn't, Auntie. He can take care. Of course, we never let it make any difference. In fact, our Bert and he are rather good friends, aren't they, Albert?
Hello, you people.
Well, Mr. Peartree.
Oh, Edwin, there you are. I was just telling Mr. Peartree about you and Hilda. You know, we thought it would be best.
You see, Mr. Peartree will be about the town tomorrow, and a word from him.
Well, that's all right. Perhaps the door might as well be shut.
Well, everything seems to have turned out very well in the end. Mr. Clayhanger, very well indeed.
Oh, yes, oh, yes.
Oh, little jockey. How would you like Bert to come up and play with you one of these afternoons?
Yes, only...
Only what?
Well, supposing I was doing something else when he came.
Oh, you're a caution, you are. Hates to be disturbed, I suppose.
That's it.
What's a caution, Uncle Albert?
George.
A caution is a caution to snakes.
Albert's so good with children. He always knows exactly.
Well, I suppose we'd better join the others.
Oh, yes.
Now, you go first, dear. Edwin, dear, Mr. Peartree has something to suggest to you. I was going to say a favour to ask, but I won't put it like that. I'm sure my nephew will look upon it as a privilege. You know how much Mr. Peartree has at the District Additional Chapels Fund?
The Macclesfield District Additional Chapels Fund. As you know, Bursley is a circuit of the Macclesfield district, so of course it very much concerns us here. We're trying to raise as much money as we can for the building of additional chapels, you know. As a matter of fact, I was one of the originators of the scheme. Now, some people say the Wesleyans are losing congregations, but I say it's because we need more chapels, you see. Anyway, Mr. Clayhanger, I'll come straight to the point. I'm sorry to say that Mr. Brierley, our district treasurer, died last week. We would like you to act as district treasurer of the fund.
You're so good at business.
She's cornered me.
And of course, we all know that we could all place absolute reliance on a man of your standing in the town.
I know how much our religion means to dear Edwin. I remember the Young Man's Debating Society. Do you remember that, Edwin? Well, of course you do. 6 o'clock on a Sunday morning they'd meet. 6 o'clock on a frosty winter morning, and all to debate the extent of their faith.
Perhaps you ought to get Albert.
Oh, no. I mean, Albert's grand in his own line, but for this, we want a man like you.
No, I shan't be your treasurer. You'll have to get somebody else.
No, don't decide at once. Think it over very carefully, and we'll ask you again. Mr. Peartree will write to you. Oh, I feel sure. Well,
What's going on in here?
Hello, Mr. Clayhanger. As a matter of fact, we've just been asking your husband to become district treasurer of the Additional Chapels Fund.
Oh, no. I won't have it. Well, the poor boy works quite hard enough as it is.
Well, of course, if it means overwork for him, I shouldn't dream.
By the way, Auntie, what is the trouble about the pew down at the chapel? Both Clara and Maggie have mentioned it.
Trouble, my dear?
Oh, surely you must have heard about it. It appears that Edwin's father's pew, which of course is now standing in Edwin's name, is getting rather crowded nowadays, with Albert's family sitting there as well.
Oh, I'm afraid
But really, there's no need for any crush. We shall be quite pleased for Albert to take over all of it.
But have you chosen another pew?
Oh, no.
Oh, but...
Oh, well, don't worry about us. We're no great chapel goers, you know. Now, do come and take something, Auntie.
Perhaps I will.
Mr. Peartree, too, of course.
Thank you.
Mrs. Edwin's family were Church of England, you know.
No great churchgoers either, I'm afraid.
Wow. I bet they've never heard a woman in these towns say that.
Come along. Tom Swetnam's got a telegram about missing words.
£27, 10.9. Philosophers tell us that there is nothing new under the sun. Nevertheless, it may well be doubted whether the discovery of gold at Barmouth together with 2 earthquake shocks following each other in quick succession in the same district, does not constitute, in the history of the gallant little principality, a double event of unique...
A novelty.
Whatever is it all
Could
about?
be.
Messing word
Originality, that
competition.
fits.
You do guide some of you chaps. That telegram costs more than a couple of bob, I bet.
Well, 3 of us share it, you see. We get it 36 hours before the paper's out from a fellow in London. And there's so much more time to read the dictionary. No use half doing a thing, eh? £27 are not a bad share this
Won
week,
anything?
eh? Rather. We had the wire about the winning word this morning. We'd sent it in 4 times, which makes about £110, doesn't it? Between 3 of us. We sent in nearly 200 postal orders, which leaves £100 clear. 33 quid apiece, net.
33
Seems to me you've reduced the game to a science.
Well, we have. We send in every possible word.
A mere 1,000% profit per week at the rate of 50,000% per annum.
What's all this?
Missing words, of course.
And what's missing words?
Oh, surely everybody knows about missing words. It's all a rage. Everybody's doing it everywhere.
It's a competition in the Bugle. They publish a piece with 1 word missing, and you have to guess the missing word.
And then you cut out the coupon and send it in. With a postal order for £1, of course.
If you pick the wrong word, you lose your shilling, but if you pick the right word, you get a winning share.
Mr. Swettenham won £100 this week.
Oh, well, between 3 of us, you understand. 33 quid apiece.
Even so, well, I mean to say.
No, Albert, no gambling.
Gambling, it's not gambling.
By the way, what is this week's word, Tom?
Unaccountably. Had you anything on it?
No, I caught a call this week, it seems.
Me too.
Oh, you wicked sinner. You never told me you'd gone in, you deceitful old thing.
It was a man at the shop who would have me try.
I see that your telegram.
Well, if my husband gets the wrong word, perhaps I could do better. Tell me what.
Father's not coming, I suppose.
Told me to tell you he was too old. He is, you know.
How's your mother?
Oh, pretty well, considering. I ought not to leave her.
Oh, yes. There's Johnny. I'll bring him across, shall I?
Awfully sorry to be so late, old chap.
Of course you're late.
Well, I was playing tennis earlier on and I had to take Mrs. Chris Hampson home.
Who's Mrs. Chris Hampson? Don't you know?
Ripping woman. Oh, yes. Not a word to Janet, though. She doesn't approve.
Oh, I see.
Oh, thanks. Where's Ingpen?
Not come.
Well, he said he'd be here at 8. Well, that's just like him. I expect he's had a puncture. Oh, well. Let's join old Jan.
Right. How do, Jan?
I say, what's everyone on about? No, don't tell me.
It's missing words. Afraid so.
Limbo, you put your money on me. If you do win anything, Albert, you must give it to me for the new perambulator.
Who says I'm going in for it, missus?
I say, if you do, it's for the new perambulator.
Then I will, just for the fun of the thing.
Albert. Well, I never.
You don't mind, do you, Auntie?
Not if it's not gambling, I don't. And I hope it isn't. It would be very nice for Clara if you won.
Well, hurrah for Mrs.
Interrupt you for 1 moment. Thank you. Mr. Binball. I'm afraid there's been some news that your little man seems to be missing from the house and made death.
What is it, Albert?
It's our Bert.
Well, nothing the matter, is there?
Well, Lottie's just been up with a message. It seems Bert's not in his bed. They can't find him in the house.
Oh, dear.
Now, look, there's no need for panic.
Can't find him in the house?
You keep calm, Clara.
Oh, did he go to bed with the
Yes,
others?
he did. Now, I'm sure everything's all right, Clary, but we better be getting back.
Oh, dear, wherever can it be?
Yeah, we'll find him, Clary, but we must go right now.
Is there anything,
No, I'm sure everything's all right, but we must be getting back.
We shouldn't have stayed so long, you know, Albert.
No,
I said we shouldn't have done.
perhaps not. Now, you best fetch your things.
Yeah, I'll take you upstairs. I think it's time I was leaving too, Edwin, dear.
Well, if you're leaving, Auntie, I shall as well.
We'll go for Clara, and we'll get our things too.
Everything will be all right, Albert.
Oh, yes, of course. I shouldn't have stayed so long. I'm too tied up with messing words.
Oh, dear, I do hope that...
It'll be all right, Clary.
If you hadn't been so taken up with missing words.
Yes, yes.
Good night, Edwin,
Good
dear.
night, Auntie.
Night, Edwin. Night, Hilda.
Good night, Edwin.
Come along, Albert.
Come in, my dear.
Good night. Good night.
Oh, Janet! Let's have some music! Oh, come on.
Ta-ra-ra-bum-dee-ay, ta-ra-ra-bum-dee-ay.
Ta-ra-ra-bum-dee-ay, ta-ra-ra-bum-dee-ay, ta-ra-ra-bum-dee-ay.
Is that you, Mr. Ingpen?
How do you do, host? When you've known me a bit longer, you'll learn that I always manage to arrive just when other people are leaving.
Oh, it's my relations you must have seen. Seems their boy Bert disappeared. Escaped from the house, I should think. They do keep him under rather a tight rein.
Oh, dangerous thing to do with a child. Now, what about this jigger? I don't care to leave it anywhere. It's a good jigger.
Well, we haven't got a proper bicycling house, but I'll find somewhere for it in the garden.
Oh, no, let me, please. I'll take it.
There's a side entry. You bring it this way.
Right. Nice place you got here. It's too central for me, of course.
Well, you see, I've no choice. I have to be central.
Well, I take your word for it. But I don't see.
Here? Should be all right here.
Oh, yes. Yes, trusted here. I understand that you've just got married. And this is a sort of function to inform the world that you're no longer what you were.
Something like that.
Well, I wish you happiness. It may seem a strange thing to say to a man in your position, but my opinion is that the proper place for a woman is behind the veil. It's only my personal opinion, of course, but I'm entitled to hold it, and therefore to express it.
Yes. Well, shall we go in?
Right. Oh, I've got that music.
Oh, good. Behind the veil? Well, something to be said for it, I suppose.
Oh, Lord, thou hast said, if two on ye shall agree on earth as touching anything that they shall ask shall be done for them, my Father which is in heaven. Oh, Lord, George Edwin Clayhanger wants a tow-bladed penknife. All three on us want you to send George Edwin Clayhanger a tow-bladed penknife.
What the... Shh. Don't disturb them for anything in the world. Who are they?
The one on the right is my stepson. The one on the left is my sister Clara's kid, Bert. I expect the third is old Klaus, the gravedigger's kid.
Well, I wouldn't have missed this for a great deal.
And there they are, hunting the town for Bert. They're bound to blame George. I know they will.
Oh, God, we all on us want you to send George Edwin Clayhanger a tow-bladed penknife. Now, lads, kneel, and all three of us together. Oh, God, please send George Edwin Clayhanger a tow-bladed penknife.
I can't help it. I've got to be God. Here goes. And it's practically new, too.
Whoa!
It is two-bladed.
Yes, us paid in this and it came down.
It hit me.
It came down, though.
Yes, and what about me? I don't want just a half share in that penknife, you know. All right, we'll pray for something you want now. What do you want?
I want a bicycle. You know what I want.
Oh, no, you don't, Bert Benbow. You've got to want something safer than a bicycle. Suppose it comes tumbling down like the penknife did. We shall all be damn well killed.
I want a bike and I don't want nothing else.
All right, we'll pray for a bicycle. But we'd better stand a bit away, in case.
I'm not being God this time.
Oh,
It won't
Lord,
run to
thou
it.
hast said, if two on ye shall agree on earth as touching anything that they shall
Men of
ask,
honour, not a
shall be
word.
done for them, to my Father which is in heaven. For where two or three are gathered together, in my name, there am I in the midst of them.
Good night.
It's novelty. Put your money on it.
Good night.
Well, are we the only ones left?
I don't know about you, Johnny, but I must go.
Oh, hold on, Jan. You're forgetting those duets. You're to try with Inkpen.
Oh, duets. Do let's have some music.
Yes, have you got the sheets, Inkpen?
There we are.
What is it?
Legends by Poor Jacques.
Poor Jacques, oh dear. I'm not very good at duets,
Well, let's
you
get
know.
some seats.
Nor am I.
See, if Tom or Marion or Alicia were here, they'd be able to help you.
We're quite accustomed to these formal preliminaries from duet players, Miss Aubrey. You know, I never do them myself. No, not because I play well, but because I'm hardened. Now, shall we start?
Excuse me, Mum. Miss Clayhanger, Mum.
Hello, Max.
Bert has turned up. Clara thought I'd better come along and tell you. She felt sure you'd like to know.
Oh, that's all right then.
Did she say where he'd been?
Been running about the streets. They don't know what's come over him because you see he'd actually gone to bed once. Albert's quite puzzled, but he says he'll have it out of him before he's done. Well, I must be going home. Clara asked me to come along and give you the news.
Oh, surely you don't have to rush straight on.
I think I'd better. I told Auntie I'd be back quite at once. Good night, then.
Good night, Miss Clayhanger.
Good night, Janet.
Good night, Maggie. Oh, Maggie. I do wish you'd come round and see us sometimes. I don't believe you've been in at all since you moved.
Well, you know how time goes.
Yes, but do try.
Oh, Maggie, I'm sorry. You don't know Mr. Inkpen.
How do you do, Miss Clayhanger?
Pleased to meet you, Mr. Inpan. Well, good night, everyone.
Good night, good night.
Good night, Maggie.
How'd you like my new stair carpet?
Very nice. Very nice, I'm sure. Good. You've made a lot of changes. Good night.
Good night. You made a lot of changes. Well, what about this music then? Are we ready?
We are. Now, will you take the treble or the bass?
Oh, I think I should take the bass.
Yeah, it's all one to me. I play either equally badly. You'll soon regret leaving the most important part to me. However, Clayhanger, will you turn over?
Yes, but you'd better give me the tip.
Right. We will now begin the evening.
Yes, who cares for tomorrow? Let this go on all night.
Oh dear. We better go back to there. 2 and.
Well, that's a bit of the right sort, no mistake.
Yeah. It's more tricky than difficult to read, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. It's delightful stuff, of course, you know, but he's not a great composer all the same.
Well, he'll do to be going on with.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Delightful. Delightful. What a pity we can't have musical evenings more regularly.
But we can. We can have them every week.
Great scheme!
Well, I doubt if I could come every week. I could come once a fortnight.
Well, once a fortnight then.
I don't suppose Sunday would suit you.
Why wouldn't it suit us? It'll suit us first class.
Yes, Sunday, why not?
So much the better. We might go all through the Mozart fiddle sonatas.
And who's your violinist?
I am, if you don't mind. Your sister will play the piano part.
Oh, you play the violin too, Miss Dinkpen?
I scrape it, and also the tenor. But my real instrument is the clarinet. You know, it seems obvious, you know, I thoroughly enjoy playing the clarinet in a bad orchestra whenever I get the chance. You know, when I happen to have a free evening, I often wish I could drop into a theatre and play rotten music in the band. I mean, it's better than nothing. Some of us are born mad.
Mr. Ringpen, I've never played those Mozart.
Nor do I. So much the better. It'll be a sporting event. But of course, we can have a rehearsal if you like.
Of course we can. Every other Sunday it's to be then. My word, there'll be some faces in these towns. Music on a Sunday. Whatever next.
I have enjoyed it.
I'm glad. Do you remember telling me about those bookcases? When your father and Edwin pulled the wool over old Mr. Clayhanger's eyes?
Do give me best regards to your parents.
I will. Good night, Mr. Clayhanger.
Good night, Miss Orgrave.
I say,
What's up?
I've a piece of news for you. About the land you set your heart on down at Shawport. It can be bought cheap. At least the old man says it's cheap. I was telling him about your scheme for the new printing works.
Set me heart on? Set me heart on?
Well, had you or hadn't you?
Well, I suppose I had.
Oh, yes. If you can afford it, you must. You don't get land like that every day. So if I were you, I wouldn't be slow to decide.
I'll walk on, Johnny.
Luke, I'll drop in and see you tomorrow morning.
Right. Good night, Clayhanger.
Good night. Why shouldn't I have a new works? Why shouldn't I?
But it was dirt cheap at the price. I doubt if one can expect to be the Almighty for much less than a pen. I've just told Mrs. Clayhanger all about the answer to prayer.
Oh, careful, Ingpen. I'm living with her, you aren't. She'll say I should have told her myself.
Of course, I've sworn the lady to secrecy.
I knew all the time there was something going on.
I'll bet you didn't.
Yes, I did. When I went up earlier, George's door was locked. And then when I went up again, it wasn't. And he was in there, asleep. He had help from the servants, I dare say.
I suppose there's no doubt he ought to be punished.
Oh, nothing of the kind, nothing of the kind. Why, bless my soul, the kids were engaged in a religious work. They were busy with someone far more important than any parents. It's a curious thing, the mentality of a child. I doubt if we understand anything at all about it. You know, I've been wondering whether I've had enough to eat.
What have you had?
I haven't had anything yet, except drink. May I inquire what is in that, bottle?
Benedictine.
Have some, Miss Dinkpen.
Well, I will. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's a very bad thing late at night, of course, but I believe in giving my stomach something to think about. And never allow, never allow my digestive apparatus to boss me.
Quite right, Miss Dinkpen.
Well, for a chap who thinks women ought to be behind the veil.
Be a man, Clayhanger. Have some.
Won't it be wonderful to have musical evenings?
Well, I shall look forward to it, certainly. Who knows, after a couple of years, I may not play more than 4 bad notes on a page.
I must buy some music.
You know what I'd like is a history of music. I'd like to know all about it.
All about it. Well, there are some pretty good books that tell you something about it. I've got one myself, as a matter of fact. Do you know, I never lend books I like. Not because I'm possessive, but because people feel so guilty if they don't give them back. Yeah, but I recommend it, though. It's by a George Grove, if you can get hold of a copy.
Oh, do try.
Oh, yes, I shall.
That's it. I must cycle home.
Tonight?
No, this morning.
All the way to Axe?
I'm 3 miles this side of Axe. It's only 6.5 miles.
Oh, all those hills.
Oh, good for the muscles of the calf.
Do you live alone, Mr. Inkpen?
Well, I have a kind of housekeeper.
In a cottage?
In a cottage.
What do you do, all alone?
I cultivate myself.
How wise you are.
Rather inconvenient being out there, isn't it?
Well, it may be inconvenient for the job I do, but I can't help that. I give the state what I consider fair value for the money it pays me and not a grain more. I've got myself to think about. There's one or two things I just won't do, and one of them is to live in a vile hole like the Five Towns. I mean, I just won't do it. I'd rather be a blooming peasant on the land.
You are quite right as to the vile hole.
Oh, I don't know. I think old Bosley isn't so bad.
But you're an old stick in the mud, dearest. Mr. Inkpen and I have lived away from the district. You haven't. We know, don't we, Mr. Inkpen?
Well, I know what I see as the factory inspector.
Our conditions for the workers very bad.
Oh, there are quite a few horrors, I'm afraid. But then our national standards are pretty bad. The employers just won't see beyond the ends of their... Nothing personal, Clayhanger.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's it, then. I must be off.
I can make you up a bed, Mr. Inkpen.
Oh, no. The fact is, I rather enjoy the rain. Quite a palaver you go through with this jigger. That seems to be it. Right. Goodbye, Mrs. Clayhanger. Oh, thank you very much. Most kind. Goodbye, old chap. See you soon.
I hope so.
Well,
It's over.
yes. We've shown ourselves to the world. I think I'll go upstairs now.
I'll just put out the lights. Hasn't been anybody in here for hours, I should think. What a waste of gas. Wow. So what? She wants this to be her room. Her own room. Well, why not? She's a child. She's an infant. Why shouldn't I build a new works? Why shouldn't I? Somebody's got to lead the way.
It's not all over. It's just beginning. He's mine and I love him. He loves me. Just as long as we take no risks, then nothing bad can happen to us now.